Welcome to the New England Casino and Recreational Gambling Podcast. We'll cover the latest news, promotions, gambling trends, and much more in our 9 New England casinos. I'm Robin, my friends call me Bin Bin, and I'll be sharing my passion of New England gambling with you. By the way, this podcast is brought to you by AnytimeGambling.com, your complete resource for a New England casino experience. So stay right there. Don't bang no Yui, because it's time to start right now. You know, this past week, it's been one big happy family in the Nutmeg State. Democratic Governor Ned Lamont's office and tribal leaders of the Mohegan and Mashantucket Pequot tribal nations cleared a key legislative decision recently. Last week, Governor Lamont's administration announced an agreement with both tribes on a gambling expansion plan. The plan would lead to sports wagering and online gambling in Connecticut. Many now believe that the new agreement will give Connecticut a distinct advantage. So, what's the process and who are the players? What's next is that the U.S. Department of Interior must now approve the go-ahead before bringing online gambling and sports gambling into the state. That should take about 60 to 90 days to get final federal approval. Once approved, the forecast is for quick implementation with all concerning parties, the Mohegans, the Pequots, and the Connecticut State Lottery. The most ambitious forecast is for implementation by the end of this year. Connecticut would be the first New England state with both legal sports betting and online casino games. The goal is to be placing bets on sports by this NFL season, according to Rodney Butler, the chairman of the Mashantucket Pequot tribal nation. From a technological perspective, both tribes are ready to launch iGaming in Connecticut. Foxwoods agreed with DraftKings to roll out wagering in the state, and Mohegan Gaming and Entertainment has signed an agreement with Canby Group to provide online and on-property betting. So what exactly is iGaming? Well, iGaming and online gambling is wagering money on some other value of the outcome of an event or a game using the internet. The iGaming activities, including poker, online casinos, sports betting, etc., is the largest share of the market made up of casino games and sports betting. The ability to bet using a mobile device outside the sportsbook has been a key addition to sports betting in Rhode Island, for example. But the ability to play casino games with real money anywhere in the state puts Connecticut on top. While legal sports betting brings more gamblers through the door, iGaming provides a huge boost for the state's financial revenue. 5 states in the country have legalized iGaming to date: New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, West Virginia, and Nevada. And as of March 24th, Michigan is also included in that group. The agreement has been added to a now amending state pact that gave Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods Resort Casino exclusive gambling rights in Connecticut for almost 30 years. Here are the specifics of the agreement. It will allow the Connecticut Lottery, in cooperation with both tribal entities, to run sports betting. Under the agreement, the Connecticut government will tax all online casino gambling, including online poker, at 18% for the first 5 years, before increasing to 20% for the following 5 years. All sports betting revenue will be taxed at 13.75%, while the Connecticut Lottery will have the right to operate 15 retail on-site locations and 1 online sportsbook. 2 of the retail locations will be located in Hartford and Bridgeport. Also, both tribes will also agreed to pause the construction of the proposed casino in East Windsor, Connecticut for the next 10 years. The tribes would also be able to develop a casino in Bridgeport. However, it's really not an enterprise that either tribe wants to undertake at this time. And finally, Sport Tech, which has been the odd man out, is at this point licensed by the state to offer off-track betting. But they would be able to be licensed by the Connecticut Lottery for sports betting in brick-and-mortar locations, not online. The benefits of the deal are reported by Mark Pazianakis of the Connecticut Mirror. He reports, if approved by the General Assembly, not only would sports betting be legal, but every smartphone and computer would be a portal to wagering on sports, playing casino games, and purchasing Connecticut lottery tickets. The lottery, whose contributions to the state coffers continue to grow as the casino revenues shrink, would be allowed to offer sports betting along with the tribes. Now, the announcement will affect other New England states, obviously. All states, even Vermont, are currently involved in sports wagering legislative talks. All will be competing with iGaming in Connecticut. But iGaming is not on the docket in many states at this time. So, in summary, under the state pact, the tribes pay the state 25% of gross slot profits. This original agreement produced more than $8 billion for the state since the tribal casinos opened in the 1990s. Both tribal leaders said they're hopeful for another benefit of the online gambling and sports betting. Legislation of both iGaming as well as sports betting will lead to the return of thousands of employees laid off over a year ago. The two facilities each have about 3,000 workers currently back on the job. Before COVID, each had about 5,000 employees. This new agreement will hopefully bring many more employees back to work. So Connecticut will be back on top with this agreement, offering more to its residents than just two fabulous casinos. They'll be offering employment, and they'll be offering a higher casino revenue input into the state's coffers. Hopefully those casinos will find ways to flourish again as they did early in the 1990s through the early 2000s. Well, this has been the New England Casino and Gambling Podcast. I'm Robin. Special thanks to Philip Paladin for our great theme music called Fresh. Remember, the podcast is brought to you by Anytime Gambling, your resource for everything gambling in New England. You can also find Anytime Gambling on Twitter or Facebook. So join us again next time, and thanks for listening.